Hey, friends, give me one moment. You froze. I don't know if you can. Sorry, one second, guys.
No problem. We get
Okay.
it.
Great, you're official. You've
So-
been registered and numbered.
Speaking of the chaos, I wanted to talk to y'all because this looks like I'm going to be in this coffee shop pretty much every time, every Thursday, because I'm going to start doing, actually, it's very exciting. I'm going to start doing live doer sessions right after this at the same place that we've been doing readings, which is wonderful and exciting. But this place opens at 10, and so it's often I'm not quite ready at 10 a.m. So I wanted to talk to y'all about, do we want to keep things on Thursday mornings, or do we want to move them? Do we want to move it like back a little bit so that we start at like 10:15? What's your preference moving forward? Okay, Frankie says 10:15. Hello. I know, Jane, you're on a completely different time zone, so
10:15 is great. So it would
Okay.
be 12:15 for me.
okay, does that work for you, babe?
Me?
Awesome. Yes. Okay, awesome. So then I will move it to 10:15 moving forward, and we'll just see how that works. Alrighty.
Let's see, where are we going?
And speaking of being behind, I need to grab my notebook still. Still setting everything up.
Take a deep breath.
All right.
Hi, Frankie.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, let's take a moment to just arrive. I know I need to shake off a little bit of the stress of everything that's going on outside of here. Oof. Oh. Let's just be here now, my friends. So there's some really intense, exciting stuff coming up this week. We have today, we have a waxing moon, waxing gibbous moon. Do y'all know the difference between a gibbous and crescent? Do I need to nerd out on you for a second about that? So yeah, so the crescent is when it's like between the new moon and the first quarter moon. The gibbous is when it's between the first quarter moon and the full moon. So it's like bigger than half is gibbous. Okay. So being invited right now to take some calculated risks. Let me put it that way. We might find ourselves kind of going, wow, like all that work that I did is actually kind of paying off, huh? Like I'm starting to notice. I'm starting to notice the difference. I'm starting to see these little sprouts that are popping up. And oh, hey, yeah, I really have worked on that. And I'm starting to see some results like that. I'm not imagining that, right? That's really happening, right? Yes, you're right. It is really happening. You're not imagining it. These things are popping up right now. Things that have been under construction, especially in the physical realm, because we have big Taurus energy. We're in Taurus season, and Virgo energy because the South Node is in Taurus, is in Virgo. And so we're having this big energy of like, oh yeah, I have been working on that, and now I see physically, like I'm seeing the results. So you may be noticing if you've been putting together more of a regular fitness routine, for example, or you've just been paying attention to what you've been eating, or you've been, changing out your wardrobe, changing your hair, doing things that just feel a little bit better to you, work a little bit better for you. Your space. Like if you've been working on your space, you might just start noticing like, oh, hey, like this is exactly where I want it to be. And this is functioning, right? You just may notice like your routines, your habits, your processes, like things are just a little bit more functional. It's not just you. Like that is true. And that's because of the changes that you've been making. That is because things have been under construction for a while and you are starting to see the difference. So I wanted to take a moment before we even go into the rest of our kind of alignment today to do a credit report. So if you've never done a credit report before, this is where we're giving ourselves credit for like, oh yeah, I did that. I accomplished that. Like that is better. This is functional for me. This is working for me. So we're just going to take a moment and just notice like, hey, where have you been supporting the life that you want? And where are you noticing that it's working for you? So we'll take a couple minutes and just give ourselves a quick credit report and come back and talk about that. Okay. Let's come back at 25 after, right? I just realized I did not unpause the recording yet. So okay. We had some awesome stuff in our credit reports today. I want to want to call out Jane for she made a commitment to herself to light a candle every day. She's done it for 15 days. That's amazing. So proud of you, Jane. We love that. Um, a big part of what showed up in my credit report was just radical trust. That I have been radically trusting the process, even when it feels insane. And that has really paid off. I am in flow in a way that I like did not know was possible. Like honestly. Like this car that I was telling you about that my husband and I found, like we'd been looking and looking and looking for something in our price range that suited our needs, and we were finding just crap, just absolute garbage. And then the morning, like we were about to leave to go and look at something else, and I was like, I want you to check one more time. I want you to just go on there and like look one more time and see if there's anything new that's popped up. And sure enough, a new listing had popped up, which was like exactly what we were looking for. And it was a little ways away, but it was worth the drive. And it was like, okay, like I'm just so like I'm so in tune right now. It's a little bit spooky. So yeah, I mean that's the big thing. That's the big one. I've been, investing in what matters in a lot of different ways. Um, and that was always such a scary thing for me to invest in myself, you know, to invest financially, to invest the time, to invest my energy into things that wasn't like a sure thing. And so just this radical trust of like, I'm going to invest in it anyway and see what happens. And amazing things are happening. So thank you. I accept. So let's go back a little bit. We're going to talk a little about what's going on in the sky right now. So we have this full moon coming up in Scorpio on, I believe, Tuesday. It's an intense one. It's an intense one on a couple of different levels. It's a full moon in Scorpio, so like that on its own, is kind of intense. Like I said in the little thing that I wrote this morning, it's not just a spotlight, it's like a surgical laser. It's going to find the specific places where light needs to get in, right? And things need to be revealed and things need to be, but other things need to be concealed. And that's where Dark Moon Lilith comes in. So there are areas where we need protecting. We need privacy. We need to be able to work our mysteries in privacy, without prying eyes, right? We need to be able to protect what needs to be protected right now. I know that, I've been reading a lot of things about World War II. It's just like a lot of icky parallels going on right now. And so one of the things I've been reading a lot about is people who were involved in the resistance and how they had to, these are like good people, right? Who are church going people and they believe in honesty and they had to learn how to be deceptive. They had to learn the art of concealing, right? Concealing the truth and protecting people and themselves from, those who would exploit them and oppress them and use their goodness against them. And so this is a time when some secrets need to be revealed and some secrets need to be concealed. And there is karmic retribution happening in a big way right now. And I don't know about you, I've been seeing this all over my feed on Substack and elsewhere, like astrologers talking about, the how this regime is going to come tumbling down. It's written in the stars and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, great, okay, awesome. But let's look inside first. What does this mean for us on a personal level? What does karmic retribution look like for us? Now, if we've been doing our work, if we've been releasing and freeing people, if we have been, I wrote here, we have Pluto in retrograde right now. This is the first time that it's gone retrograde in the sign of Aquarius since kind of settling there more permanently. It's not going to go all the way back to Capricorn. It's going to stay in Aquarius, but it is retrograde. And so a retrograde is always a review, right? And so what are we reviewing right now? Well, we're reviewing power dynamics. We are reviewing power dynamics in our own relationships, our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with authorities, right? And with our own authority, with our own sovereignty. So some of the questions I wanted us to kind of noodle on today. Who have we released? Who needed to be released? Who did we free who need to be freed? Who did we forgive we needed to forgive? Who have we released ourselves from? What relationships have we freed ourselves from that we needed to be freed from? Have we forgiven ourselves for being in those relationships in the first place? And what is still imbalanced? Where are the places, where are the triggers that are still triggering us, right? Chiron is also in play right now, and that is all about a lot of, past traumas. So like, where are the places where these triggers are still coming up and they're still affecting us? Some of them you may notice, they come up and you go, oh, that doesn't affect me the way it used to. That doesn't bother me the way it used to bother me. How interesting. I had a message recently I let everybody know, hey, I'm on the islands now on Thursdays, right? And my ex wrote something saying, Aria has a dentist appointment on Thursday. And that's all he said. Aria has a dentist appointment on Thursday. He didn't say, can you take her or anything like that. He just said that. And I didn't respond. I just let it be. I was like, I already told you that I'm on the island on Thursdays, so figure it out. Like, if you're asking me to come back and do this, like, ask me. Don't just put it out there passive aggressively and expect me to, like, right? Sort it out for you. Like, no. So, right? Like, that felt really good that I was just like, okay, cool. Thanks for sharing, bro. Well, this is a time when these things will start coming up. Power dynamics will start showing themselves to us. And we will start seeing, like, oh, that's working for me. That's not working. I've done the work there. Oh, cool. I've got some justice there now, right? We may start noticing, like, oh, things are actually rebalancing. Things are actually coming back into balance. Karma is being served, right? Justice is being served. And so that could be scary in areas where we have not, we know that we still have work to do, right? But it can also be very exciting in areas where it's like, I know that you have work to do when it comes to me. So do your work. I'm ready. As we've been talking about, we have big birth energy in the air right now. And so this is kind of noticing where we still need to push and where we've already done the work, right? We already pushed. And now there's little, I'm mixing metaphors here, but now there are sprouts, coming up in our garden. Like we're seeing those little sprouts popping up. We're like, oh, look, I did the work, and now I'm getting the reward. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I want us to keep that awareness over this week, especially. Just noticing what's different, what's new, what's popped up in our little gardens so we can go, oh, hey, look at that. That's neat. That's new. That's neat. We will also be receiving some messages, premonitions. This is a time when, like I said, things are being revealed. Things are being revealed to us. Now, ask yourself carefully what needs to be shared and what needs to be kept. Because we will be getting things, we will be getting information that may not be for everybody else. They may just be for us right now. And so some things are like, hey, tell the world about this. This, you need to spread this. You need to share this. But some things will feel very personal and very private, and it's okay not to share everything. It's okay to just say, okay, I don't think everybody else is ready for this right now. This one was just for me. This one was just for me. We may be getting some premonitions. We may be getting some vivid or lucid dreams. Enjoy those, right? These are meant to be enjoyed. We also have this week, actually tomorrow, I think, Mercury moving into Taurus. Now, again, Taurus is an earth sign. It's very grounded. Mercury is all about communication. So this is like grounding our communications, making things super clear, super direct. We will also be getting answers, whether we want them or not. So things that we've been asking for, things that we've been kind of asking the universe, like, hey, what's going on with this? We're going to find out. We're going to get that answer, right? The mechanic is going to call back and tell you how much you owe, right? Like, the uncertainty is going to end, which is great, but also it might not be the answer you were looking for, and that's okay, right? It's the answer that you needed. And so there may be a lot of like, aha, I knew it. There may also be a lot of like, yeah, I kind of thought so. Because our gut already knew this stuff, right? Our intuition already was clued in. And now the physical evidence is appearing to back that up and validate that. So it's going to be vindicating, but it can also be a little bit like, ooh, yeah, that's kind of what I thought was going on. So Jane says, I'm learning that it's okay for a message to be just for me. Yeah, exactly. Some of these messages, they are going to be just for us. And that is great. It's better than okay, right? That is great. That is a special little magical message just for us. What's turning? What am I learning? What did I burn? What did I learn? What did I earn? This, because you are enough. Yes, because we are enough. You are enough. We don't have to. I think we have a tendency to do this thing where we feel like if we get something until we share it, it's not real. It's like Pixar didn't happen, right? Like unless we posted about it or unless we told somebody about it, it's like, did that even happen? Yes. Yes, it did. You are witness enough. Your experience is enough. Just experiencing it is the thing, right? So especially so from now until actually I'm going to change that. We are now in the period, the very beginning of harvest season. Okay. So we had that eclipse back in March, eclipse season back in March. We're going to have another one in November. Between those two eclipses, we are having our first harvest season in the age of Aquarius, as I'm calling it. And so the age of Aquarius, as we know, it's very much about collective wisdom. It's very much about connection. It's very much about freedom, new directions, new things, and also justice, things coming back into balance that have been imbalanced. And so we've had a lot of death since November. We've had a lot of things dying, things changing. And now that we're in this Pluto retrograde and we're coming into this harvest season, we're going to start seeing the first harvest of those shifts, those changes, those deaths, right? We're going to start seeing the first sprouts of the things that are going to be everywhere very soon, right? It's going to pick up very rapidly, and we're very soon going to be surrounded by whatever it is that we're starting to see and notice coming up right now. We have this big fire energy with all the Aries energy. We have that Pluto in Aquarius. We've got the new North and South node placements in Aries and Virgo. And we've got these new planetary placements, all these planets moving into new signs. So we're getting new freedoms, new connections, but there is a price, right? There's always a price. And part of the price is innocence. Part of the price is ignorance. Part of the price is illusion. And so what we're giving up right now is the sense of like, oh, I didn't know, you know? Yeah, you did. Now you know. If you didn't know, now you know. And so we don't have that fallback of like, well, I was innocent of that because I didn't know. I was innocent of my ignorance. The illusions are breaking and we're seeing the truth. And so now we can't hide in that. We can't hide in, well, I didn't know. Yes, yes, now you know. Now you know. And knowing takes away innocence, right? Awareness takes away innocence. This is, we go back to the story of the snake and the apple in the garden, right? Eating of the fruit of the tree of knowledge takes away innocence. And so we are coming into this era of awareness that can actually be quite upsetting in some ways. We are having to sacrifice this story, this ego story that we had about ourselves, that we are exceptional, that we are special, that we are entitled, that we're better, right? Than anybody else. As a country, we're having a reckoning with this, but also within ourselves as people, we're recognizing like, oh, I am connected to everything and everyone. And I'm not, these things that have affected people all over the world, I'm not immune. I'm not immune to those things. Just because I was lucky enough to be born at a certain place in a certain time, that doesn't mean that I'm safe, safer than other people. And yet, looking beyond the illusion, recognizing that we are safe. We are safe in a way that goes beyond this life. We are safe in a way that, like, we are safe to our soul. We are soul safe. All of this is just a lab where we are encouraged to experiment and try new things and mess things up and get hurt over and over and over again, right? To hurt other people, to hurt ourselves, to mess things up. That's what we're here to do. And so we are safe to play. We may be experiencing right now as we come into this dark moon, which is also in Scorpio, right? We have a conjunction of the full moon and the dark moon in Scorpio. How do I explain this? It's like that motherly rebuke where she says, I brought you into this world and I can take you out of it. Okay? Like we are experiencing that as a society right now, right? Our mother is saying like, oh, you think you can just get away with anything? Like I gave you this earth, I could take it away, right? And within ourselves, we're also experiencing that same energy of like, I created this and I can uncreate it. I created everything in my life and I can uncreate it, right? What I want us to do now is take a few moments to just notice what's new and different. Okay, so this is similar to our credit report that we just did, but what we're noticing specifically is like what's new, what's changed. What am I looking around and noticing like, oh, that wasn't here before. I didn't have that ability before. I didn't have that before. So let's take a moment and just kind of continue our credit report, but focusing on what's popped up that's new and different. What are these new little sprouts that have come up in our lives? Any questions on that? All right, let's do it. Seeing some smiling faces, like maybe we came up with some good stuff. So what's new? What's been popping up in your gardens?
Um, Two things that I think are really big for me is just being recognizing when I have some kind of um trauma, like feeling ready, my body's ready to release some old trauma. That is so new to me, and it's a beautiful process, and it's been, yeah, it's just amazing to me because I know there's stuff locked in here. And the other part is like just witnessing my guys. I live with my adult son and my husband and a male cat. They're all boys. Um, but just kind of stepping back from my own like triggers and just kind of letting them be who they are and being like giving them the space rather than being that mom who's constantly trying to fix or give advice. It's like that doesn't help anybody. I didn't like it. Why am I thinking they're gonna like it?
Right.
So that's been big. It's not 100% with them, but it's so much better. I am so much more
Yeah.
less agitated by what's going on. I think one last thing is like a shift from worry, concern, realizing that it's actually love. And if I focus on the love part, then all that stress and worry can just kind of like dissolve.
Yes. We were talking about this the other day, Frankie, and it's so like this is a big new thing for me too, just that awareness of like, oh, I'm processing something that's probably not even mine and has nothing to do with me. And I'm just going to allow that to go right through me. And I'm not going to fight it and I'm not going to judge myself for it. I'm just going to allow myself to like have a little downtime and let this just pass through me because it needs to go through me for some reason and I have the ability to help process it. So cool. You're welcome. How amazing is that, right? So cool. What about you, Jane? What's new for you other than lighting your candle every day, which is amazing?
Well, really, it relates to the lighting of the candle, so all of this can't have like, and including the lighting of the candle, it's come up for me in the last couple of days. And one of the cool things about that consistent daily practice is that it evolved into journaling. So like I've started talking, like taking what was here that I'm processing, noticing, and actually writing it down, which I could never make myself journal before, but it's just happened. So for
Yeah.
me, the biggest thing is relationship. It's the evolving of relationship. And it's not just for me, my existence here on this planet is all about relationship. But what I didn't realize before is that relationship with the self
Mm.
was in dire need of attention because I poured myself out for anyone and everyone because that's what I do. I'm a nurturer, I'm a lover, whatever. And all that while I didn't know what I cared about, what brought me joy. Like I was in deep relationship with everyone else. Some of them deserved it, some of them didn't, but I and self-love and knowing what lights me up in authenticity, that is the most significant thing. And I realized I don't have a relationship with myself. So the evolving of relationship, my relationship with myself, and once I've leaned into that, my other relationships, what I understand to be truly true, my obligation to them, where those boundaries are for to keep myself safe and to protect them and to give them my best self, those are evolving as well. So relationship, the first one, I said, I now see the ugliness of my deep need for approval slash inclusion. I see how it's caused me to abandon my gifts and authenticity. now I'm on the lookout because I've recently promised myself, and I mean a promise that I promised I'm not going to go back on again. Um, that I promised myself never again, baby. You come first, and the others are just going to have to bugger off, you know. So in that, I'm redefining what I'm meant to give, and finding those boundaries. Like where do I need to stop for them and me? The cat is playing with the
Yes.
cord. No, no, baby. Okay, so also, and this is a big one. Um, and I have other relationships that have redefined themselves, such as like my friends. Some of them have vanished, like long, long friends. Spiritual circles, like I'm now free to see. Actually, this person doesn't like me because they never talk to me and like whatever. So I'm letting that go. My most abiding relationships, my mom, as Mother's Day is coming up. Um, I never thought that I'd be at a place where I just wouldn't just run at her feet, like, what can I do? How will you see me? I want you to love me. What can I do? Like, just begging for the crumbs. I'm finally at a place where, and I never thought I'd be here, but I can say, okay, I need to let her be free to be who she is, and understand that I should never at any point compare what I think she should be to me based on my own understanding of what I should be to my daughter. So it's just this huge evolving. And out of that, I've been able to talk to another close new friend who's really struggling with this Mother's Day coming up. Like she was in the same situation I was last year. And now she, now I feel compelled to speak out of this new truth that I'm beginning to embody, and it's really helping. So that is a big deal, and I feel like it anchors this new truth, like the serving, the this is what I discovered is really helping it grow roots. So that's big. Now going on to the cat, my most abiding relationship, my daughter. Okay, so my daughter is 11 years old and she has begun individuating, and I know that's a normal thing, like a social work background, I understand. Cat quit it. um but recently she's been wanting to like watch her own like TV on her iPad and not do movie night, like we all of these things are changing, and they're changing now.
Yeah.
So okay, my most abiding relationship, Audrey, is evolving. And so this is big for me because in the past couple of days, as I've journaled, I realized that I used my role as her mama, and I'm a single mama. It's always been that way. He left when she was one. It was me and you against the world, kiddo. So I poured everything I was meant to do, every bit of purpose, every bit. I put all hands on deck. I never dated. I never did anything. It was all about being her mama. And I did a damn good job. But you know what? Now to do a damn good job, she needs me to back away. She
Yeah.
needs that space. She needs me to not need her to
Yep.
define my purpose and what I'm supposed to do now in this life. And she needs that, and I need that. So I see it. I'm trying. I'm not there yet. It's kind of ugly, but it's happening. It's happening. And it's happening now. I'm figuring it out. I'm giving her the space she needs, and she's my wonderful Aquarius, so she's kind of all here and like, but I'm asking her, I'm like, if both of us are going to survive this transition, I need you to be a little more tender because I'm a Cancer. I'm like, oh, come here, I love hugs, and
Mhm.
she's we're working through it. She's
Yeah.
responsible. So it's all big stuff, relationship stuff. That's all.
Yes. And this is a big, like, it's not a coincidence, I feel like, that it's Mother's Day this weekend because that moon and that dark moon, right? It's bringing up the mother wound and the mother connection, right? Our connection to the earth mother, our connection to our own mother, our connection to our children, that continuity, right? Of the energy is not just our energy. The energy passes on and the energy flows. But just like you said, Jane, it has to start with like, If I'm not in touch with my own energy, how am I going to share energy with anybody else? How am I going to allow other people to connect with their own energy if I don't even know what that looks and feels like? Right? So many beautiful insights today. Thank you so much for sharing those. As we move into this full moon, lighting a candle on the full moon, beautiful idea. Highly recommend that. And this is a time like to really lean into awareness, right? We're going to be things are going to be revealed to us. And so I just want us to lean even more than we normally do, right? Into simple awareness, just noticing what's here now, what's beginning, what's ending, what's here. Frankie says relationship to obligation is shifting too. Yeah, that's a big one, right? That's the part of the power dynamic that we were talking about. Having this review of our relationship to power, and obligation is one of those things. It's like we feel like we should want something, or we feel like we should do something. And the recognition that where did that should come from? Did that should come from my own intuition, or did that should come from something else entirely? That should come from society. That should come from my own mother, who got it from her mother, who got it from her mother, who got it from her mother, right? Like, where do these shoulds come from? And some of them are real shoulds, right? Some of them are real obligations to our own integrity. Some of them are commitments that we've made to ourselves for reasons, and we need to show up for those commitments. And others are like, wait, no, that's not, I don't owe you that. No, that's not my obligation. Yeah, let's not should all over ourselves. Exactly. Let's not should all over ourselves. So this, as we come into this full moon, there's going to be some big awareness, big revelations. And so I recommend anytime that comes up for you, just take a moment. You don't even have to write it down if you don't want to, but just take a moment to say, hey, look there. So that's new. That's new. That's here, right? Noticing what's different, because we have a tendency to just keep going, keep going, keep going. And we never take the time to recognize that a transition has even happened. And then suddenly we look around and we're like, oh, wait, this is different, right? So notice. Now is your time to notice. Stop what you're doing, look around, and notice what's changing, because now is kind of your last opportunity to course correct. If you're seeing sprouts coming up that you're like, that's not what I ordered. This is not what I want here. Weed them quickly so that they do not proliferate all over your garden. And then notice the things that are popping up that you're like, yeah, I asked for that and it's here now. That's exactly what I asked for. Thank you. And just give it a little sprinkle, give it a little love, give it a little attention, sing it a little song, right? So that it will thrive into harvest season. All right, my darlings, we'll go ahead and wrap that up. I will see you next week at 15 after. Okay?
Really quickly, Frankie.
Yes.
I like you.
Yay!
Can we be friends? Like, I don't know how as I've mentioned, I'm technologically disinclined. It's not my wheelhouse, but like, can we exchange whatever information so that I can talk to you
Sure.
outside of here?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me give
Okay,
you
how do we do that?
are you good with Facebook or voicemail?
A voicemail, like I'm mostly a voice person.
Okay. So let's figure out a voice thingy to do.
Okay,
Um,
can we maybe send each other voice notes?
yeah, I love
Okay,
doing that.
that would be
Let me
amazing. So can I give
let
you
me
my phone number?
Okay, hold
yeah.
on one second. Let me stop the recording.